Leo, my radiant friend, this is your moment and it's closer than you think. In just 2 days, a powerful energy block that has quietly delayed your rise will be shattered. And when it does, everything, and I mean everything, will begin to shift. This video was made for you because you're on the edge of something much greater than even you can fully imagine right now. The fact that you're here, listening to these words, is no accident. Whether you stumbled across this message or searched for guidance, you were led here by something higher, by the part of you that remembers who you truly are, a soul born to lead, to shine, and to inspire. Over the past few months, you may have felt like your power was trapped behind an invisible wall, like no matter how much you pushed forward, something was pulling you back. It wasn't weakness. It wasn't fear. It was energy. A karmic block. A residue of doubt and resistance that didn't belong to you, but clung to your path like shadows cling to light. But now finally the cosmos is aligning. A rare shift in energy is unlocking the very force that held you back. And within the next 48 hours, a message will come. It might arrive through a stranger, a dream, a phone call, or a seemingly random encounter, but you'll know it when it happens. Because your soul will feel it. Instantly. There's one condition, though. You must remain silent. Do not speak your plans out loud. Do not seek approval. Not everyone around you is ready to support the magnitude of your becoming. Protect this energy. Let it grow in stillness. Some dreams bloom best in the dark. Let me take a moment to say how deeply grateful I am for your presence. Every view, every like, every shared comment, it's not just support for this channel, eternal mindfulness. It's a sacred exchange. You being here allows these messages to reach others who are just as close to their own breakthrough. Your energy is part of something much bigger than you may realize. And Leo, believe me when I say you will want to stay with me until the very last minute of this video. What the universe is preparing for you is nothing short of breathtaking. This isn't a prediction. This is a preparation. So let me ask you something from the heart. What part of you called this message into your life today? What is it within you that knew intuitively, unmistakably, that you were meant to hear this now? If this resonates, if you feel something stirring deep inside, I invite you to comment below and say, "I'm ready for my breakthrough." Let that be your declaration, your energetic signal to the universe that you are open, awake, and aligned with what's to come. Now take a deep breath. Ground yourself. Because what we're about to uncover will not only explain what's been holding you back, it will show you exactly how to rise. Let's begin. There are moments in your astrological journey, Leo, when the sky doesn't just reflect your inner world, it calls you to rise above it. And this is one of those moments. Right now, your solar ruler, the Sun, is being pressed by tense angle squares from Saturn, the planet of karmic responsibility and restriction. That pressure can feel like being trapped in your own brilliance, as if your light has been dimmed by something invisible, intangible, but undeniably heavy. You've likely felt it over the past few months, the delays, the second-guessing, the moments of clarity that somehow never took root. But here's the deeper truth: none of that came from within you. It came from what surrounds you. Energy doesn't exist in isolation. The cosmos, your environment, the emotions of others, these all form layers of unseen influence. Think of it as walking through a fog that's not yours, yet it still clings to your clothes. The doubts of others, their expectations, their fears projected onto your path, they create energetic residue. When people speak with uncertainty about your vision, when promises made to you are broken, those vibrations don't just vanish. They build. And eventually, they become the block. But here's the gift in this moment: astrology doesn't bind you, it informs you. And right now, the moon, keeper of the emotional tides and the memory of the soul, has activated what I call a temporal threshold, a time gate. This is a rare alignment, almost like a symbolic doorway between past patterns and future purpose. And in exactly 48 hours, you'll find yourself standing in that doorway. The key? Silence. There's a reason many sacred traditions teach that silence is power. Not suppression, not fear, but sacred containment. When something is still forming an idea, a shift, a breakthrough, it's fragile. Like the first green shoot emerging from the soil, too much exposure can burn it. That's why, right now, your highest spiritual act is to protect the energy that is awakening within you. Do not explain your next step. Do not seek validation. Do not invite analysis. The truth is, not everyone is meant to understand your breakthrough. And they don't need to. Your path doesn't require permission. This isn't about distrust, it's about energetic alignment. Sharing too soon leaks energy. It disperses the momentum that's building, often before it has a chance to fully form. In teachings passed down through contemplative traditions, there is a lesson: when the fruit is ready, it falls on its own. You do not need to shake the tree. In the same way, when your moment comes, when the block lifts, it will be unmistakable. And it will be yours, wholly and entirely. So in these 48 hours, give yourself the gift of stillness. Guard your process like you would guard sacred fire. Let your intuition rise without noise. Let your decisions anchor without defense. You're not in hidingery, in preparation. Because when the energy shifts, it will not ask you for approval. It will ask you for presence. And if you're quiet enough, grounded enough, and aligned enough, you'll feel the pulse of that new beginning before anyone else sees it. And that, Leo, is where your power lies, not in how loudly you shine, but in how patiently you protect your light until the exact moment it's meant to break through the clouds. Sometimes, Leo, the universe does not announce itself with thunder. It whispers, subtly, through threads of coincidence that only your inner knowing can decode. The message that is making its way to you in the coming days will not come dressed in certainty, but in intuition. And your task is not to chase it, but to recognize it. You may feel it in the sudden urge to take a different route, to reach out to someone, or to pause and notice a moment that feels strangely alive. That's not your imagination. That's alignment. And when we speak of destined news approaching, we are not speaking of something random. We are speaking of a divine appointment written into your timeline long before you knew to look for it. This kind of shift is often foreshadowed not by logic but by energy. That stranger who appears just when your heart is quietly asking for clarity. That is no stranger. That is a mirror. The dream that comes with startling clarity, carrying words you didn't know you needed to hear. That is not a dream, it is a dispatch from your deeper self. And if your phone lights up with a number you don't recognize, but your heart starts pounding before you even pick it up, that, Leo, is your spirit already knowing what your mind has not yet caught up to. In the language of tarot, this moment is deeply embodied in 3 archetypes. The High Priestess, keeper of secrets and intuition, invites you to trust what you feel before you understand it. She reminds you that your knowing is not always rational, but it is always right. The Page of Swords brings the energy of communication, quick, sometimes curious, sometimes unexpected. This is the card of messages, of insights arriving through media, through conversations, through sudden realizations. And then, we meet Judgment, the card of awakening, of being called forward into the next version of yourself. This card does not offer comfort, it offers truth. It opens a doorway and asks, will you walk through? To prepare for this moment, it's important to heighten your awareness, not by trying harder, but by softening your grip. Let your senses be alert to patterns, repeated numbers like 1111, 777, 555. These are not random, they are energetic markers, signatures of the universe signaling a recalibration. Pay attention to the melodies that loop in your head. Sometimes a lyric or phrase repeats not because it's catchy, but because it's meant to reach you. If you feel drawn to a specific place, even without riasango, often the meeting point for destiny is disguised as an ordinary location on an ordinary day. But it is the energy you carry into that moment that unlocks what's waiting there. One teaching I often return to speaks of the way the mind likes to hold on to what it knows, but the soul always flows toward what it needs. Right now, your soul is already leaning toward the message that's arriving. It knows what to listen for. It knows the shape of what's coming, even if your mind is still busy with doubt or expectation. Let yourself quiet down just enough to hear the signal beneath the noise. And if you were to receive a message to die, a single sentence, a symbol, a stranger's gaze that could change everything you thought you knew, would you allow yourself to believe it? Leo, the answer isn't about certainty. It's about readiness. You don't have to know the form the message will take. You only need to be available to receive it. Because destiny doesn't always knock with urgency. Sometimes it waits patiently, just outside the door of your awareness, asking only one thing: are you willing to listen? Leo, when destined news arrives, it rarely affects only one part of your life. Just like a drop of water into a still pond, its ripples extend outward, touching not just the surface, but the deepest places within. The cosmic message heading toward you isn't just an update or an event, it is a multidimensional shift. And when that message comes, its truth will echo across every layer of your existence. Financially, this news has the potential to shift the narrative you've been stuck in. Perhaps it's a refund you'd given up on, or a job you thought slipped away. Maybe a door you knocked on long ago but heard nothing back suddenly creaks open with a generous offer or collaboration. Money itself is never just numbers, it's energy in motion. When we release scarcity and create space for alignment, even what seemed lost finds its way home. The message coming may appear material at first, but what it truly brings is the return of self-worth. It whispers, you are ready to receive because now, you finally believe you are worthy. In love, this message may be the kind that rearranges timelines. For those who are single, a sudden meeting may carry the sensation of recognition without explanation, as if your heart remembers before your mind understands. For those already in relationships, the revelation may either deepen your intimacy or reveal truths that liberate both of you. In truth, the universe never breaks what is whole. It only dissolves what's been silently broken, to make room for what's real. This news will help you choose not based on fear or comfort but based on clarity. In your career or soul's purpose, prepare for the unexpected reactivation of old opportunities or the acknowledgement of your efforts from someone you thought had overlooked you. Often, life reroutes us not because we're unworthy but because the timing needed to match our frequency. You've been building something within an invisible lighthouse. And now, those who couldn't see your light before are suddenly turning toward you, drawn by something they don't even fully understand. That's not coincidence. That's timing. That's alignment. Your body and soul are also part of this transformation. When destined moments approach, we don't just understand them, we feel them. There's a breath of fresh energy on its way to you, like sunrise within the chest. You may notice your sleep feels deeper, your breath easier, your desire to move or create or simply smile return. These are signs that the energetic fog is lifting. That something has clicked back into place inside you, and your spirit is no longer carrying the same weight. This is what true vitality feels like, not just absence of illness, but presence of aliveness. And within your roots, your family, your lineage, something sacred stirs. The message you receive may seem personal, but it's likely fulfilling a much older vow. You may feel guided, supported by energies you cannot name, as if unseen hands are clearing the path ahead. Sometimes we call this ancestral blessing. But whatever name you give it, know that there are forces walking with you, hoping you will choose what you came here to become. You may receive a sign through a family member, or you may be the one called to bring healing to generational patterns. Either way, this message is not just about your present, it's about your return to alignment with your original blueprint. So when the message comes, whether as a text, a whisper, a face, or a flash of knowing, understand that it's not separate from any part of you. It arrives for all of you. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, and ancestrally. Your only task is to listen with your whole being. Because the moment you truly receive it, everything begins to realign. Leo, as this energy gateway approaches, how you receive it determines how deeply it transforms you. The message is already on its way, but whether it becomes a catalyst or simply passes through your field unnoticed depends on the space you create within yourself to meet it. These next 48 hours are not just about waiting, they are about aligning. And alignment begins with awareness. One of the most powerful yet gentle ways to prepare is through morning journaling. As soon as you wake, before the noise of the day intrudes, sit in silence and write down any symbols, feelings, or fragments of dream memory. This isn't about interpretation, it's about anchoring your inner world into your waking consciousness. In those early morning hours, the boundary between the conscious and subconscious is thin. What you write may seem small, but its meaning may echo back to you in days or even years to come. Alongside this, a simple 5-minute visualization can help regulate your field. Picture a radiant golden light beginning in the center of your chest, your heart center, and expanding outward through your arms, down your legs, rising above your head, until it surrounds your entire being. Feel this light not as a shield, but as a reminder, your energy is sovereign. Your light is not something to be protected, but something to be honored. This inner glow helps you stay centered when the outer world delivers its messages, because when you are stable in yourself, even unexpected change feels like alignment. Now, to support your energetic field on a physical level, be intentional with the colors and foods you invite into your body. The Leo frequency resonates most strongly with bold, solar shades, golden yellows, rich oranges, and deep crimson reds. These aren't just aesthetic choices, they signal vitality to your system. Consuming foods aligned with these colors such as turmeric, pomegranate juice, roasted beets, sunflower seeds, and citrus fruits not only nurtures your physical body but communicates to your energy field, I am ready. I welcome life force. And then there is the mindset, perhaps the most overlooked part of preparation. Instead of trying to predict what's coming, ask yourself better questions. For finances, try this one. If money came to me in double the amount I expected today, how would I use it with intention and integrity? This immediately shifts your vibration from worry or control to readiness and wisdom. The universe responds to that kind of clarity. And in love, whether romantic or platonic, remind yourself that connection is not about sacrifice. It's about appreciation. Ask, am I giving from overflow or depletion? You do not need to burn to keep others warm. Love that thrives is built on gratitude, not martyrdom. These are not massive shifts. They are subtle turns of the dial. But subtlety, when practiced with devotion, creates real change. The world won't ask you to transform in 2 days, but your soul already has the capacity to, the moment it feels safe enough to open. And these practices? They are invitations for your inner world to feel safe held, rooted, seen. So, let me ask you this. What are you most hoping to receive from this destined message? Is it clarity, connection, opportunity, or simply peace? Share it below in the comments. Your answer may seem small now, but speaking it into the world is part of preparing your field to receive. You are not waiting anymore, Leo. You are aligning. And that changes everything. Leo, you were never meant to be hidden. Even when life tried to bind your voice or place you in shadows, that golden essence within you never stopped glowing. And now, something ancient within you is rising. You may not have realized it, but every moment of doubt, every quiet frustration, and every delayed victory was shaping the roar that's about to emerge. Imagine a lion that's been shackled, not by chains of iron, but by invisible forces: judgment, rejection, fear of standing too tall or shining too brightly. The lion didn't forget how to roar, it simply waited for the right moment to remember who it was. That moment is now. The message that's about to arrive is not just external news. It's a calling. And more than that, it's a remembering. In the depths of your being, there is a memory older than this lifetime. It's not about the details of the past, but about the energy of a role you once held, a purpose you once fulfilled, a leadership you once embodied. And though you may have wandered through lifetimes feeling like something was missing, it wasn't because you were lost. It was because life was preparing the right timing to hand you back the key. That key is in the message that's on its way. And the moment you open it, whether through a word, a dream, a person, or a moment of clarity, you'll feel something click into place. This is the return to your throne. The throne is not a physical prize. It is a vibration. It's the energy of living as your full self, without apology. It's the power of saying yes to your gifts, of allowing yourself to lead not from ego, but from truth. And most importantly, it's the courage to no longer play small when you were designed to blaze a trail. The old version of you that played safe did not fail, it served its role. But you are not here to repeat safety. You are here to ignite something new. One of the most profound teachings I've come across reminds us, The water doesn't rush the seed into bloom, it simply surrounds it in stillness until it's ready. You have been surrounded, nurtured, held by time. Now the bloom is here. It may not look loud at first. In fact, your return to your power may begin with something quiet, a decision, a boundary, a confident no. But that single moment ripples outward and changes everything. The universe doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be aligned. Your soul didn't sign up for a life of pleasing others, it signed up to shine so brightly that others remember their own light just by being near you. And when this message arrives, you'll understand why things had to be delayed. Not because you weren't ready, but because the world wasn't ready for your full brilliance until now. So let me ask you, are you ready to take your place again? Are you ready to sit on the throne that only you can fill, not out of arrogance, but out of deep, sacred responsibility to yourself? If the answer is yes, then don't just feel it, declare it. Speak it aloud. Claim it with your breath. And if you feel called, write it in the comments. I am ready to step into my true throne. This is your time, Leo. Not just to be seen, but to see yourself clearly again. If you've made it to this moment, take a breath and know that nothing is random. The energy you're feeling isn't coincidence. It's alignment. The message that's coming in just 48 hours is not some external miracle, it is a reflection of all the silent strength you've built through seasons of waiting, of learning, of falling and rising again. It is a reward, yes. But more than that, it is recognition. A recognition from the universe that you didn't give up when it would have been easier to walk away. And now, because you chose to stay, to listen, to believe, life is choosing you back. But the most important thing you can do right now is nothing loud. Not yet. This moment asks for stillness, for sacred silence. For the next 48 hours, protect your light like it's sacred, because it is. Don't explain yourself. Don't seek validation. Don't share your dreams with people who won't understand them. The universe doesn't need witnesses right now. It needs your full presence. There's a reason your intuition is louder than usual. A reason you're seeing repeating numbers, remembering strange dreams, or hearing songs that speak directly to you. These are not background noise. These are road signs. So slow down. Listen closely. The guidance is already here. Remember these 5 soul anchoring steps. First, trust your intuition more than you trust words. Not everything that sounds kind is aligned. Second, recognize the signals, the 11:11s, the 777s, the lyrics that seem to play just when you need them most. These are whispers from your higher self. Third, write. Each morning, take 3 minutes to journal. You don't need to write anything, write, just let your soul speak. Fourth, keep your vision protected. No matter how excited you are, silence is strength right now. And finally, stay connected. This energetic wave is part of a larger shift, and we're in it together. And now, I ask you, softly but clearly, what are you most hoping to hear from this destined message? Are you ready for it to change your life? Are you willing to believe that the version of you who has waited this long is now fully ready to receive what was always meant for them? If this video spoke to something deep within you, if you felt seen, affirmed, or guided, take a moment to share your energy back. Speech balloon, leave a comment. I am ready to receive the message meant for me. It's not just a comment. It's a declaration. A signal to the universe that you are aligned. That you are listening. And if this resonates, please give this video a thumbs up so it can reach others who are also walking through their own 48-hour transformation. And if you haven't already, tap subscribe and turn on the bell to stay connected with this high-frequency community here at Eternal Mindfulness, because every message, every insight, every whisper you hear here is part of your soul remembering who you truly are. Remember, Leo, this isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before the world told you to be smaller. And as the final veil lifts, as the final block dissolves, you'll see what I already know. You are the fire the universe has been waiting so long to reignite. And now it begins.